All right, guys, we are back with another episode. Welcome to episode 8, where we're going to talk about love and loans, buying a home with your partner, or your situationship. All right, so let's be real for a second. Buying a home together is not the same as dating. It is not. The mortgage system doesn't care how long you've been together. It doesn't care about your chemistry, vibes, or the future plans. What it does care about is credit, income, and the legal responsibility. Now, the goal of today's episode is simple. We're going to help couples build wealth the right way, and we're going to prevent heartbreaking credit damage a little later. By the end of this episode, you'll understand who actually should go on a loan, who should go on a deed, how lenders view couples behind the scenes, and how to protect yourself if life changes. Now, here's some things most people don't realize. Lenders do not approve relationships. They approve borrowers. That means they're looking at the individual income sources, the individual credit profiles, legal responsibility, not emotional commitment. Let's clear up a few myths real quick. Married does not mean automatic approval. Dating does not mean disqualified. Engaged does not create a special rules. And the real question is, who is legally responsible for the debt? Who is signing the note? Who is on the title? One of the biggest misconceptions is, I hear this all the time, is if we apply together, it'll be easier. Here's a reality check. One weak profile can hurt this entire deal. But here's a common couple scenario. Married couples. Yes, both incomes can be used, but both credit scores still matter. One low score can increase the interest rate and raise the mortgage insurance, or sometimes even cause a denial. But here's an important reminder. Marriage does not require a joint application. Sometimes one spouse qualifies better alone, and that's the smarter move. Engaged couple. Engagement is emotional, not legal. From a lender's perspective, you're still two individuals. We're getting married soon does not count in underwriting. Here's a smart strategy, though. Decide now who strengthens the loan. Decide later how ownership is structured. Planning ahead protects you both. But if you're in a long-term situationship, this is where most people make the mistakes. If both names are on the loan, both are responsible, even if one person moves out. If you have to ask who pays if someone leaves, who keeps the house, or refinances it, you're not legally tied. You need to get legally protected. So this is the part where everything changes. This is where people get confused. So let's simplify it. The loan equals the debt. You owe the money. It affects your credit. The deed equals ownership. You own the property. It affects the equity. But possible setups, one person on the loan, both on the loan, one on the deed. One person on both. Here's an example, guys. I want you to use this if you ever needed some reference. Partner A, for example, has strong credit and stable income. Partner B has savings but weaker credit. The result of this situation is partner A qualifies for the loan and ownership is structured intentionally. So here's an important reminder. Lenders don't decide ownership. State law and attorneys do. Money conversations you cannot skip before buying a home together. Who pays the monthly mortgage? Repairs and maintenance. Job loss scenarios. Selling versus keeping the home. And yes, what happens if you break up? If this conversation feels uncomfortable, that's not random. That's a warning sign. But real talk, a mortgage is a 30-year relationship. Clarity has to come before commitment. Protection isn't about expecting failure. It's about being grown. Smart protection looks like written agreements, ownership percentages, clear exit strategies, and you should understand how refinancing works, buyout works, selling works. If emotion should never be the only plan, it should never be the only plan. But before we end, guys, here's some red flags before buying together. If your person is hiding credit issues, or you can't verify their income, or they're rushing the process, trust me, pressure ruins good decisions. Silence creates future problems. If you don't take anything else away from this, buying a home together can build generational wealth or create a long-term financial stress. The difference is education, communication, structure, Love is emotional. Loans are legal. When both are aligned, you win. Guys, if you got any questions, hit me on the DM. I'll talk with you guys soon.